Buenos Dias Gunners Collective. Back at it. You already know, like a motherfucking smack addict, and indubitably, yes indeedy, as you can tell by that thumbnail right there. Wobble, wobble, wobble. I'm a dick ride to the dick slide. We're going to talk about the very first 6ix9ine. Before there was a 6ix9ine. Hung, and in that fashion, yes, you already know who we're talking about, that baboso. Let's get to it in a menudo style, in a direct fashion, and hear the words that are coming out of my mouth when we're talking about this baboso, this idiot. Okay, so anyone that's from Las Vegas, you guys know exactly who I'm talking about. And for those of you that are not from that area and don't know, well, I'm about to give you the rundown right now, and how this case and how this individual, man, just turned into straight cagada, right? Mierda. We're going to call him Mierdoso from now on. That's his new nickname. But he was 6ix9ine before there was a 6ix9ine. Okay, so everybody knows the story on fucking 6ix9ine, Tekashi 6ix9ine, and how he's basically a clout chaser who found out the recipe. Okay, this vato was able to fucking utilize clout chasing, trolling people, talking shit about a whole lot of people, and he turned it into a mainstream thing, and he blew up off of it. Of course, he ended up catching a case, trying to act like a blood, which he wasn't. They said he was. I don't know. I can't call it. At the end of the day, he ended up catching an FBI case, a Fed case, and he rolled up over on everybody, told on everyone, and that was his thing. He chose to do that. He chose to go that route. He justifies it how he does. That's on him. Bang, bang. You know what I mean? I can't call it like an alcoholic. But at the end of the day, everybody knows who this individual is. He's a household name now. He's worldwide. Okay, but this is the name that not a lot of people know about, that was 6ix9ine and had that recipe before 6ix9ine did it. And he was doing it on a high level. It just didn't work out too good for him because he ended up catching a bad case. And we're going to speak on that right now. And this guy's name out of Vegas, he had a whole bunch of names he went by. But you have to understand that at this point in time in Vegas, 2000, and I think it was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I can't call it. This vato was out there mainstreaming, meaning he was out there doing his thing. He was a local little rapper that blew up. You got to understand, nowadays, everybody's used to all these fucking tacas on your face. Everybody's getting tattoos on their face. It's the thing to do. Okay, it's the thing to do nowadays. Everyone, like I said, Sasuke, what are you gonna get right there? What's just gonna be tied? An ice cream cone. Orale. Sasuke, Rocky Road. Stand up. Everyone's getting what they're getting, and to each their own. You know, everyone's in charge of their own temple, their own body. If they want to tear it down, they can tear it down. You ain't gonna be able to rebuild that after 3 days, but it is what it is. So this is what everyone is on, the hype that everyone's on. But this guy was out there walking around Las Vegas with fucking tattoos all over his face before people were doing that shit. I mean, you've always had people in the Cholo culture and the Chicano culture always get their neighborhoods or get their Jaina's name or whatever the case may be, you know, representing where they were from. Okay, but this individual had stars and fucking pieces of mierda. I mean, just, he had all kinds of tattoos, Gucci signs, and fucking on his cheek, he thought he was fucking from Louis Vuitton. He was representing, he was a walking billboard. Okay, but he was doing this before anybody else was doing this. And this drew a lot of attention to him. Of course, he had a big booming ass Instagram, a big booming ass YouTube channel. He was doing it. You know, he was doing it. He had that recipe down pat. He was clout chasing. He was out there on everybody's shit. He was out there doing his local little rap thing. And you can't be mad at him. The vato was out there trying to get his bag. But at the same time, the recipe he was using to do it, we've seen people do it time and time again now. And of course, 6ix9ine was able to capitalize on it and hit on that. So this was the Vegas 6ix9ine before there was ever that baboso from New York. That's a fact. And this guy hit. This guy hit. You know, couldn't rap worth shit, but at the same time, he had that look. He had that stilo. You know, and he got on top of his game, man. He actually got signed to Soulja Boy, as you can see Soulja Boy in the thumbnail. He actually was doing a lot of work with Chief Keef out of Chicago. He started to be well known in the industry and work with a lot of people. Now, I never knew about the puto, straight up. Never heard about him, couldn't care less. But at the same time, man, as I started to get into the story and started to do my due diligence and see what was going on with him, I seen that, yeah, basically he was 6ix9ine before that fool was. And he did that. Now, am I going to sit here and say it's right or wrong? Charlie Holmes, there's no reason for me to speak on whether it's right or wrong to do what you do, man. If you go out there and you get your bag and you ain't hurting no one doing it, Sasuke, by all means, handle it. But this guy was climbing on top of people's heads to get to the top. Okay, trolling people constantly, utilizing bullying tactics, scandalous moves, and whatever. But see, what a lot of people didn't know about him while he was doing his little music thing, and signing to these big artists and actually pushing that label and actually pushing his agenda and rocking it. You know, you can't be mad at that. He actually had a side hustle, allegedly, right? And the side hustle that him and his wife end up getting caught up on, his wife's name was Mitzi. He was a 25-year-old. I believe she was 26, or vice versa. Tit for tat. Can't call it like an alcoholic. Fill me up. But I know at the end of the day, they were within 25, 26 years old. They actually got caught up on a bad case, for which he is now sitting down doing 10 years in the Nevada Department of Corrections. Oh, yeah, sit your ass down. You will be sat down, right? He shouldn't be even sitting down for what he was doing. He should be getting taxed. They should let the rhymes tax and maintain and see the doubly max on his ass. But at the end of the day, man, it is what it is. People are going to give you what they give you, and people are going to run with it. Anyways, so this guy's name being a household name out there in Las Vegas, he was well known. Anyone that's from out there knows who he is, and they've seen him. And I mean, this vato was driving in Rolls Royces, Phantoms, Lamborghinis, Bugattis, when motherfuckers wasn't doing it like that. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. I don't even know what the inside of a Bugatti looks like. You know what I mean? Straight up. You know, I thought I had a homeboy from Stockton named Boo and another homeboy from Sakura named Gotti. That's about as close as I ever got, right? And I probably never will. But at the end of the day, man, I ain't mad at anyone who does and who is able to achieve that status or able to achieve that carro, because, hey, get bang, bang, you're doing your thing, man, noodle style. But I don't step on anyone's heads to do it. Okay, I'm not going to be that riffraff type of individual, man, to be as cutthroat as other individuals are, to slander and talk shit about other people, to rise to the top, man. You know, the cream will rise to the top in its own due time. And, you know, heavy is that head that wears that crown. And it is what it is. You know, there's a lot of different sayings that you can put into, but at the end of the day, man, I, by no means, will use the recipe to clown other men or shit on other men's names to get there, you know. I'm going to have fun. Oh, I'm going to cap. Oh, best believe the gun's going to cap. If you know me, you know, if you knew better, you do better. That's how I get down. But at the end of the day, man, it's all a form of fun. It's all a form of just love and no disrespect. Now, the case that this guy got caught up on was actually a big case. It was actually a big case out there in Las Vegas because, and there's a lot of people doing it. You know, there's a lot of people that got their hands in the cookie jars. They're out there slanging them hoes, sitting them bitches down, putting bitches on the track. Call it what you want, man, in a PI way. This is what people are doing, and he was actually doing this. But see, he wasn't doing it righteously. Now, you can say it's never righteous, you know, but hey, man, if you're able to break a person down, man, rebuild them in the mold of Play-Doh the way you want them, and they want to go out there and bring you money, by all means, get your money, boo-boo, is what they say, right? Do your thing. But what happened was him and his wife, they were utilizing younger women below the age of 16. At the end of the day, man, you already know what that is. He's another weirdo. Chalk him up. Kane, where you at? What the? Hang. Get yours on, right? Another weirdo for the books. So he had a side hustle going on. Because anyone from the outside looking in would say, well, how's this Bob Wilson going? Let me hear his tape. Yeah, he sounds like I got straight garbage, trash. Okay? Let me see his stilo. Yeah, the pants, yeah. I can see where his neck is bulging. It's from the constriction being cut off of blood flow to the head because his pants are so fucking tight. Dude, there's a lot of different things that you can see where it's like, how did he get this money? Have you ever thought to yourself and wondered, how the fuck did this rapper, I never bought his tape, I never heard his song, and all of a sudden he pops up with stacks of money and big old thick chains. Where the hell did this guy come from? Talking about from Memphis, Tennessee, y'all. Well, I guess they're pumping him back there, because over here on this side of the land in Califas, we ain't hearing none of that shit, man. We got homeboys in the mud struggling in Sakura trying to get in the music game, right? And they ain't never had a gold chain in their life, yet you got this motherfucker with diamonds. He told them, oh my, you know what I mean? Straight up. Guess this motherfucker want to handle business. But this is the type of individual this guy was on. So what he was doing was he had a side hustle. And he was making a lucrative amount of money from this side hustle, right? And so him and his old lady, what his old lady would do, allegedly, is bring young chicks to the house. Now, of course, they like to play a little bit. So they were into their threesomes. They were into both getting theirs. With this young chick, they wanted to test ride the Ferrari, right? So they were testing it out. But it started to become younger and younger and younger. And you know, with younger comes a bad stigma. And motherfucker, you're a piece of shit, right? Straight up. And so the case that they got caught up behind was actually they had moved this younger 15, 16-year-old girl in with them. They were all three having some type of relationship. Now, this Bob also was having paper, money, Rolls Royces, Soldier Boy, tell him. You know, he was doing all this. You would think that, and his old lady wasn't halfway bad. You would think that he would be out there getting his. There's groupies, there's parties, there's all that. But you got to understand these sick-minded individuals. Well, you don't even got to understand because some of us can't understand it. But these sick-minded individuals do what they does. You know, we can't, no one will ever know what goes into the thinking of these weirdos unless you are one. You know, and every weirdo's different. But, so they end up getting caught up in a situation where they were actually, they had this chick basically kidnapped and they were forcing her to go out there on the strip and bring them back their paper. Now, of course, over time, in due course, eventually, man, she got tired of it. She got tired of, being involved with these individuals. The way they were treating her, they were beating her in front of people, just treating her very bad. And this guy thought he was somebody, he thought he was out there in Hollywood type motherfucker out there in Vegas, really having it his way, which he was. But at the same time, man, when you're out there and you're the face of whatever you're trying to push, man, you need to be smooth with it. You need to be smooth with a purpose, man. You need to be out there moving and grooving like the Isley Brothers. You don't need to be out there on some bullshit, which he was. And so what eventually happened with this guy D Flores is he gets caught up. The chick gets taken in, she gets taken in on a prostitution case, and of course she spills the beans and gives up the whole infrastructure of what they had going on, him and his wife, his girl Mitzi. And so they get caught up, and they, as soon as they get caught up, of course, him having a little bit of change, having a little bit of paper, he gets some of the best lawyers, and he's able to fight this case. Now, he quickly separates him. This is the type of fucking punk he was. He quickly separated himself from his old lady. So she's on her. Yep, the wind's blowing. Blow that way, bitch. She's on her own, right? He let her blow in the wind, and he went and fought this case. He actually got a lot of the charges dropped, but they double backed on him because they found out that this wasn't the only youngster that he was involved with. Okay? Usually when someone does it once, okay, bang, bang, they're going to do it twice, right? And so he did that over and over again, and eventually he ended up catching a 10-year bid in the Nevada Department of Corrections. So since then, he's changed. Since then, he's changed. A changed man. Sasuke, he went from balling in Phantoms, Lambos, motherfucking Teslas, to now he's on prisoners.com. Hey, Sasuke, I'm going to change. I'm going to reform. Write at prisoner.com. That's where his life took him. And I'm just here to tell you that you can achieve top status. Now, however you get there is however you get there. Everybody's different. This man chose bullying tactics. He chose trolling tactics. He chose fucking basically destroying his face, his credibility, everything, but it worked. It worked for him. I'm not saying it's going to work for you. It's going to work for me. It's going to work for everyone. Everybody's different. Some people, they just want to get up and they want to go to McDonald's and make a fucking McBurger, right? And that's cool. You know what I mean? But however you get it, you get it. And this man achieved that. Like I said, he was on top, man. He was signed to Soldier Boy at one point in time. He was hanging real big with Chief Keef, man, possibly signed to him. He was just having it his way, like Burger King. But oh, how the mighty has risen and fallen, right? He went from that to now writeaprisoner.com. Okay, when you're involved in the music game, and I've said this plenty of times, people blur the lines. When you're involved in the dope game, do the dope game. When you're involved in the music game, be musically inclined. When you're involved in gangbanging, that's gay. Oh, wait, pedazo time, right? It doesn't matter what you're involved in. Each man, each woman has the right to choose their own life pattern, what they're going to go down, the road they're going to take. But at the end of the day, man, if you're going to be in one thing, be in that thing only, man, handle it. When you're trying to do these little side hustles and you think that, oh, man, I'm winning on all fronts, man, that ain't always going to be the case, because one thing over here is going to take down what you got going on over here. See, people don't realize that. And this man didn't. Okay? And I just stumbled across, I got homeboys out there in Vegas. Man, I chopped it up with them, and they were like, you ever heard about this cat? I said, I ain't never heard about this bawo. So they were like, watch out. Let me tell you a little story. They ran me down, and I thought the situation deemed necessary for me to put it out there for the gente and really put his name out there and trip out on him, who he was. D Flores, right? The 6'9" before there was 6'9". Now, what I've noticed in nowadays, this era, is a lot of people are doing that clout chasing, or that trying to step on the next man to win, defecating on people's character, hating on people. It's becoming prevalent. It's becoming, it's making people into something that they really got no talent. They're really a nobody, but they're utilizing other people's talents and other people's fame and other people's hard work, and they piggyback off those motherfuckers and shit on that man to win. And it happens. It happens on YouTube. It happens on Facebook. So it happens on Snapchat, right? Both are getting theirs, and to each their own. Like I said, at the end of the day, man, I can't hate. All I can do is congratulate, or not even congratulate, just pay him no, never mind, right? At the end of the day, it's not really going to affect me one way or the other. But, it's just a trip to see how people are doing it. Hard work pays off. Not the payoff for less hard work, but menudo. I guess they're doing what they do. But this guy D Flores, like I said, how the mighty rose and fell. That case that he got caught up on, now you ask yourself, well, what's going to happen to him in the Nevada Department of Corrections? Well, because he kind of had a little bit of notoriety and people knew who he was, is he able to wiggle? That's a bad case. I know in Califas, he'd have been booked, hooked, and booked again. You know what I mean? He wouldn't be walking the Yarda. I'm going to tell you that much. Not the main line, at least. I don't know. I can't call it. I don't know how they wiggle out there in Nevada. I'm not going to sit here and say that they're not about their business. I know there's a lot of autos from Califas that are out there. I don't know if they structured and set up the program out there, but at the same time, I will tell you, motherfuckers is about taking people's headpieces that are on some weird shit. Now, I talked yesterday about Cain Velasquez, and was he justified in what he did with that weirdo that touched, his family member? And I say absolutely. And a lot of you agreed and said absolutely. And there's some people that are law-abiding citizens, and they said, let him have his day in court and we'll find out. The other author didn't have the day. And I say, I don't care, man. You know what I mean? You touch my kids or even fucking are accused of it. And so I'm feeling some type of way. And that's how Cain was. Now, this guy, Flores, was actually touching another man's kid. Okay, she might have been 15, 16, man. And of course, man, hiders are out there. She could have manipulated and fool, man. But you got to be boo-boo the motherfucking foo-foo if a fucking young 15, 16-year-old could convince you that she's older. I don't know what planet you're from, right? I don't know where your antennas were when this hyena came knocking at the door. But, man, I would have sent her right back out to the bus stop and told her go to school. And in that fashion. In fact, I wouldn't even say shit because, hey, that ain't my place to talk. You ain't got nothing to say to me and I ain't got nothing to say to you. And let me tell you a story about a certain situation that arose with one of my primos. Okay, so I'm chilling. I'm in Livingston. I'm at my pad. Everything's all good in the hood. I got my old lady. She's cooking at that time, and she's making me a pork chop. And my children are there. Everything's lovely and lavish. It ain't the best apartment. It ain't the best. We had roaches. I ain't gonna lie. It wasn't the best, but at the same time, it wasn't the worst either. I was struggling. I was barely getting by. But guess what? I was getting by. And one of my primos, my younger primo, he comes, he's like 20, 21. He comes knocking at the door. What's cracking? You know what I mean? Boop, 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 boop. We're chilling. And my other primo's sitting in the car. And I said, hey, what's your brother doing? Tell him to get off the car, bro. Tell him to come on in. You know what I mean? Chill. And the roaches ain't gonna bite him. And he gets off the car and a young chick gets off the car with him. I had Heisman up. Neon, right? I had to hit him with the primetime Dion. Hold up, bro. What's this shit, right? He was like, oh, yeah, that's his old lady. I said, nah, fuck no. You need to get in that car and do it pushing. Get the fuck up off my property. Get as far away from Livingston, California as you can. Bro, something ain't right. That's a young kid. That girl's young. Something ain't cool with that, right? Nah, man, she's old, man. She just looks that way. Well, guess what? Look the way I look. You know what I mean? Get up out of here. So I sent them on their way. Come to find out, not even a few months later, man, this hyena done pressing charges on my primo. He gets caught up and boop, 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 boop. Eventually charges get dropped. And it come to find out that she was just fucking playing some reindeer games and her mom was mad because she couldn't get a shot of heroin. Whatever the case may be, it was what it was, man. But he put himself in that situation to get caught up. I said, what were you doing rolling around with a chick like that? You already knew. Shit, it didn't take me but 1.21 gigawatts of seconds to fucking realize that something was wrong there. Anyways, so this guy Flores has no excuses in saying that, and that was his excuse. Oh, I didn't know. She told me she was 18. So stop it. Stop using that lame-o, same-o excuse, man. Anyways, he was the 6'9" before he was 6'9". Did he tell on a whole bunch of people? Charlie, man. I'm not going to sit here and put that jacket on him because I don't even know if he wears them types of jackets. But at the same time, man, what he was doing is not good. He's considered trash. He's basura in my eyes because he was fucking with young kids. And that right there, I don't care. You know what I mean? There's nothing you can do to disprove me or dissuade my mentality and my thinking when it comes to that. Period, plain and simple. Anyways, for those of you that don't know, look into his story, man. He got caught up. He was big time rapper. He was doing all that trolling. I guess he had a big channel on YouTube blowing up with like 1 million subscribers. And oh, how he felt. Oh, how it hurts. I don't know how it hurts. He's gone. Anyways, think before you drink. You know what it is? Because you might wake up like that and say, what happened? You might have had to caught that knee from Masvidal like Ben Askren. We'll talk about that some other time. Anyways, I hope that you move fast with a purpose. I hope that you get everything that you want coming to you. Remember, at the end of the day, it's all about going out there and hustling for your familia. If you see a youngster in harm's way, man, and you see a fucking chirujo, a predator on her, go handle him one time for your mind. I'm not pushing any motherfucking negativity, but at the same time, man, you already know what it is. The gun, man. Like and subscribe if you like this. If you don't, you can hit that thumbs down. Heavy as the head that wears the crown. We're going to continue to push the best content we possibly can right here at Gunners Collective. You know what it is. I appreciate you all. And I ain't going to dick ride to the dick side. Wobble, wobble, wobble. Hell nah. The gun.